Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to yet another YouTube video. Before I go on, please don't forget to comment, like and subscribe as well as share this video. We're on that journey to 10,000 subscribers. Also, please do use the link in my description, the link in my pop-up banner to get a code from Naked Insurance and you can save you some money on any car that you drive. This is the Suzuki XL6 that I've been spending the week with, and I do think that the Japanese brand have done a lot of work with this car. Yes, it does have some flaws. Firstly, I don't think it looks that good. The 4-speed automatic is okay, but I'd rather take the 5-speed manual. Now, this is powered by a 1.5-liter petrol engine, which is a naturally aspirated engine we've seen from the entire Suzuki brand, 77 kilowatts as well as 138 newton meters of torque. Pricing starts at 353,000 Rand, and I think that it's actually one of the best MPVs on the market. Yes, I did mention that it does have its flaws, but hey, let's get into this review. I'm going to tell you about the interior, the exterior, as well as the little drive that we're going to take. But I do think that Suzuki have put in quite a lot of work and I'm somewhat impressed. So let's jump straight into the video. I have mentioned I am not a fan of the looks. I'm really not a fan of the looks. However, we've got a chrome strip that runs across as well as your big Suzuki badge up front. You've got this cladding which is in grey at the front there. You've got LED fog lights, LED headlights, and this daytime running light which is also LED, but I just feel like it looks tacky. My personal opinion, I think it looks tacky. You come to the side, you've got this 15-inch alloys. Yes, they do look good. They are somewhat small though on this car, so I'm pretty sure people in Alexandra and Diepsloot are gonna have a plan for the tire, but it does ride comfortable, I'll give you that. When you come to the side, you've got this big wing mirror with an indicator strip right in it. Massive roof racks that go across. I'm not sure if these are functional, but they do look functional. But where everything is, essentially where the party pack is, where I personally have loved, is the interior. I think that interior is really amazing. For a car that starts at 353,000 Rand, I think they've done everything. You also get keyless entry into the vehicle, which is not a bad thing and a nice touch from Suzuki. At the rear, my opinion for looks still do not change. I still do think that it does look somewhat meh. But A-less, it's a mini MPV. I don't think it's meant to look that good. I don't think there's any MPV that looks that great, in my opinion, on the market right now. We've got these LED tail lights, this color-coded diffuser-ish at the bottom, and parking sensors as well. You've got your reverse camera on there, an XL6 badge right across there. Then you've got somewhat decent amount of boot space. Let me just show you when all the seats are up. This is the boot space that you get, which is not quite much, but the trick here is that you can actually just take these off for you to load stuff much more down there, which is not a bad touch from Suzuki, but you can still essentially fold the seats. Oh, that seat is just way in front, but when you do fold the seats, you get decent amount of boot space, which is something that I do quite like. On here, you've got your tools, which is a very nice place to put tools, I won't lie to you. And because there is also sound insulation in there, you don't hear them rattling about as you're driving. So that is a nice touch from Suzuki. I'll give them that. Great engineering right there. Great engineering. So let's jump inside, and I think for me that is where they have knocked it out of the park, to be honest with you. It's a 6-seater, not a 7-seater. Let's just jump inside. Let's go. Jumping inside, and I do quite like this interior a lot. I love it so much. We've got a multifunctional steering wheel. We've seen this in the likes of the Balenos, the Swift, previous generation Swift. The driver's display as well, it's analog, and we have seen that. And I mean, look at that fuel consumption, 5.7 liters per 100 kilometers. So that's definitely going to be helping a lot of business people. We've got some faux wood on the dash, which just gives it some class, and I do quite like it. This infotainment has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto wirelessly, guys, wirelessly. Can somebody please tell the Germans that you can actually have wireless CarPlay? It's not that difficult. It's really not that difficult. Then you've got one USB port in here, which is a downside for the car. But then you've got a 12-volt socket on there. You've got some space to put your phone, 2 cup holders on here. The space in here for cup holders are massive. I mean, if you look in the driver door, you've got an entire large bottle of water that you can fit in there. So space is massive. You can actually put an entire phone on here. I have an iPhone Pro Max and it fits perfectly into the slot. You then have some space storage in there, but not really for much. Probably cables, receipts, and all that stuff that you'll be keeping. And if you drive an automatic, then you have your gear shifter in here, and also your manual will be right on there. The headliner is not quite cool for me. I prefer dark headliner. I prefer dark headliners, but that is just me. You can put your sunglasses in there, which is quite cool. Obviously, then halogen interior lights. The seats do look nice. Yes, they are cloth and faux leather, but the stitching that runs across here is something that I do appreciate. I do quite like it. It's not that bad. We've got all these vents that are running across here, and this also helps for those people in the rear. But I mean, just look, 1, 2, 3, 4 vents. Then you still have vents on the dash, all that stuff. So place to be in actually is the second row. I think that is where you want to be. So let me jump straight into that section. I appreciate the sitting position so much. This is my normal driving position. Just look at the knee room and the headroom, massive. You then have those vents that I spoke about right on the top end. Essentially, your clients can control their own climate control, which is, well, not climate control, but they can control the air on their vents, which is really, really functional, especially when you're going to be sitting in the rear. The seat can go front and backwards, but the most amazing thing is that it can recline. Just imagine going to Durban from Johannesburg in this car. You'll be so comfortable. I mean, there's enough room. You can essentially just chill. I think the only downside for me is that there's only one USB in the entire car. However, then you'll need to get somewhat of a connector for you to slot it into here in the 12-volt socket, and then you can charge your phone. But I think it's really just quite cool, man. I mean, just look at this. Like, I'm so comfortable. That's the thing. And I think what it lacks in terms of exterior appearance, it makes up for in interior appearance. I'm just going to try and move into the seats, but essentially those are just for legless passengers, guys, to be honest with you guys, or for kids. Let me try and move it forward a little bit for me to try and get into the back. The nice thing I like about that seat is that it does have cup holders in the rear as well. So let's jump in the rear. It's not bad, actually. Hey, it's really not bad. Let's try it. I wonder if these recline somewhat. I think they do. Oh, geez, I might have spoken too soon. This is not bad. This is really, really not bad. You do have your cup holder on there and another 12-volt socket right on there. Essentially, everybody could be charging. And I'm not feeling too claustrophobic here, but then that sacrifices the boot space, essentially. So yeah, guys, let's go for a drive. But I am quite happy and impressed with this car so long. So when you jump for the drive, and this is why I said for me, I would prefer a manual, because I just think for certain cars with certain displacement, I think they should be manual. But I do understand that the environment has changed so much and everybody just wants an automatic now, because, you know, in traffic, you don't want to be changing gears and you just want to be relaxed. But say you're trying to overtake somebody. That for me is just really, really annoying. It's a 4-speed automatic transmission that is throughout the entire range. So it somewhat bores me. But I mean, it's not bad drive. It's comfortable. You don't get really a lot of bumps coming into the cabin. Somewhat refined. The glass is not that thick, but it does keep a lot of, you know, noises around the outside, and the interior is just really comfortable place to be in. I do appreciate just how fuel efficient that power plant is. We do know Suzuki and their 1.5 liter transmissions are just as efficient, and they do what is meant to do, really. It doesn't wallow around on the highway, and it feels really solid on the highway. I've driven it on the highway for quite a number of kilometers, and going back to fuel consumption, I've driven this car so much, but I still have not fueled up this entire week, sitting on 5.7 liters per 100 kilometers. So now imagine, as a business owner, or as a person who is essentially taking your kids to school every day and is just meant for that, as a soccer mom or whatever it is. My guy.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
5.7 liters per 100 kilometers. Now, a lot of cars in the Suzuki range can achieve that effortlessly, and it's just something that the Suzuki brand is known for, fuel efficiency. One thing that I must tell you, and this really does annoy me from the Suzuki brand, is that you always need to lock the doors yourself. Yes, they do say it's a safety feature, so that when should an unfortunate accident happen, that you're able to get out without being stuck and the doors just, you know, eternally locking. Yes, it's a gift and a curse for me. I always forget to lock the doors, and then, you know, we don't live in such a safe country, and you never know who can open the door, and if you have kids, if they can open the doors as well. So that is the one thing that does somewhat frustrate me. Don't forget to use the link in my bio to please get a quote from Naked Insurance. You can save money. If you've got a car that you don't use, there's cover pause. Cover your car, and then you can easily just pay about 50% of your premiums because you're not using your car. As long as your car is parked, that will work for you. I think this is a really great mini MPV. It works. works for what it is in the market. I think it's a great alternative for anything that's in the market, really. I don't see many advances of late. The Ertiga is essentially this now, and the Toyota Rumion is, yeah, obviously I think much more pricey. I'll just put the cost on screen for you guys, but I do think that this is a great MPV and I'm not too upset with the product. Please don't forget to always keep left and pass right if you're in South Africa. Just be safe all around. Hey, look at that, a Toyota Rumion as we as we are driving by. So yeah, guys, as always, comment, like, and subscribe. Up until next time, peace out. Love you all.